Welcome to Seahawks Today. I'm Meghan Payton, here to help Tom provide you guys with some more Seahawks videos, whether that be news, rumors, game matchups. We want to provide you guys with everything Seahawks related. Now, all we ask of you guys is to help us keep our engagement up. Please like this video if you are excited for the Seahawks season. I'm excited. I already got my new game day outfits, so we're ready to go. Coming up, we are going to get into the latest on Duane Brown's contract. So the Seattle Seahawks and Duane Brown have finally come to an agreement. There will be no more holding out. There's not going to be any issues of not participating. It's been a work in progress, but they finally have seemed to compromise. So this new reworked contract is a deal that pays more upfront. It has added incentives, and also it can increase his earnings up to $12 million. Now, just to be clear, this isn't an extension. So the Seahawks didn't want to sign him for more time, but they did feel comfortable, obviously, giving him a little bit more money. Now, funny enough, Greg Bell, Seahawks reporter, he was up on the news a couple weeks ago. He had said that there was the rumors that Brown was kind of dissatisfied with the organization. He wanted more security. And to be fair, Duane Brown is 36. So I get the Seahawks side of it. They didn't feel comfortable necessarily signing him for more time, but they also know that they're dealing with a 5-time Pro Bowler. Duane Brown has shown himself to be a really dominant player. Back in 2018, they signed him to a $34.5 million contract extension. And so now they had to get creative in figuring out a way to make both sides happy. And so what they did come up with is this deal that's a $7 million signing bonus on top of his $4 million salary. Now, he can get a little bit more depending on Pro Bowls or more playing time. That would allow him to get to that full $12 million. But I'm excited to see Brown back. He's going to be playing week 1, obviously, now. He's going to be attending practices. Do you guys think that this was a fair deal, though? If so, type Y for yes. If not, type N for no. I think that it was. Like we just said, I mean, he is getting older and age catches up with everyone. But moving on to some of the injury updates going on with the Seattle Seahawks is cornerback Tre Brown. Gosh, this one's hard because I think that everyone kind of hoped that he was going to be back out for week 1. Pete Carroll had originally thought that he was going to be ready by then, but now he's expected to be out for multiple weeks due to this sprained knee injury. And, Pete Carroll tends to be a little bit overly optimistic. He did say, though, however, he's got a couple things we're working on, but none of them are debilitating. None of them are serious. It's just going to take some time. So it's going to be a couple of weeks, Carroll said. Now, what they did to kind of help out with that situation is get a couple guys to help out in that DB room. They signed John Reed to the 53-man roster. Now, he was a 4th-round pick by the Houston Texans. He was traded to the Seahawks back in August. He was then put on waivers, signed back to the practice squad. Now he's been elevated to the 53-man roster. I think this is just going to help a little bit in the depth that they were lacking in that position. The news from yesterday was big. It was Bless Austin is now expected to sign with the Seahawks. He has, in fact, signed. He was a 2019 6th-round pick. He started 16 games with the Jets from 2019 to 2020. Now, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of playing time from him, but I do know that this is going to provide that security in that cornerback room that I don't feel like the Seahawks necessarily had. They do have a good DB depth chart. If you're looking at this with Jamal Adams obviously being top in the league, probably Quandre Diggs over there at free safety. They're going to have a lot of help. Trey Flowers had kind of won that cornerback spot. DJ Reed was moved over to the left side to take the other cornerback spot. But I do think that it's always helpful to have just a few more guys in that room to help in case of injuries. But what do you guys think? Do you like the Bless Austin move? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Moving on to some more injuries to look out for, we've got Colby Parkinson. Now, Pete Carroll confirmed that he's going to be out week 1. It's sad because he's still dealing with that foot injury. He injured the same foot that he had injured back before his rookie season. At that time, he had to get surgery on it. Now, I don't think that we're expecting Parkinson to have to undergo another surgery. However, it is a bummer to hear that he's going to be out for some time. In a press conference, Pete Carroll said he's just isn't going to make it yet. It's a foot injury that you just have to work your way back and not overdo it and not mess it up along the way. You know, it's said that it's really important so we can just get him back. He'll stay back. He runs up every day. He's working hard at it, but he's just not up to where he needs to be at full speed yet. So I understand being safe, playing it safe on that side of things. It is a bummer because I do think that Parkinson is a really good red zone weapon. He's also a really good deep threat. So it's a little bit of a bummer to see him out for a few weeks. But on a positive side with injuries, Neal is expected to be completely back and good to go for week 1. He was playing in practice on Monday. So I think that the team needs him back. I'm excited that we'll be able to feel a little bit more from him. Some new additions from the Seattle Seahawks. I know Pete Carroll got a lot of heat recently for not having a big wide receiver room. Well, just like we expected, he was going to add some people, and Penny Hart is a guy that got promoted to that 53-man roster. He's going to help out. Whether he plays a lot or not, I don't know, but I do know that he's going to be helpful, especially when you've got Ursua on IR. You've got, kind of a small group of guys. So he might get more playing time than you think, but he is now officially part of the 53-man roster. Now, I don't know if you guys are planning on going to the Seahawks games in person or not, but the Seattle Seahawks have just updated their policies as far as it relates to COVID-19. You are going to have to show proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID test if you're above the age of 12. They're also saying that they're going to implement masks. So there's a lot to, keep up with all the COVID stuff going on. But for week 1, we don't have to worry about it because the Seattle Seahawks are going to be playing away in Indianapolis. This is Sunday, September 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Right now, the Seahawks are favored at -2.5. Right now, the over-under is set at 48.5. So we'll be giving you guys more breakdown of this game preview later on in the week. So please be sure to stay tuned, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any Seahawks content.